Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for an all new episode recap of today's Days of Our Lives, September 1st, 2025. Happy Labor Day to you all. I hope you have enjoyed it. Let's get into this recap. It wasn't really much to it, but hits and miss, but it's okay to me. It probably a 6, 7 out of 10. So we see most of the Green family reunited. Aaron is back and Felicity is there as well. Their mom is settling back into Salem and they're just happy that they're getting their family back together. Mark is awaiting his parole hearing, so they miss him and they talk about him a lot. They talk about the fact that they're going to do mini golf and whoever loses has to buy pizza. They're just bonding. So that's what they really were up to. And yeah, they're glad to have Aaron back. Aaron is also going to be boarding at Salem U. He's gonna be rooming with Tate as well because we already found out that the rest of them are all going to Salem U. So yeah, that was really it with this. Back to Brady and this lawyer. I don't know where they did the girl from, but it seems to be that she is working for Melinda, right? So her name is Patsy McGowan. Brady's asking her point blank, like, you represented my for my son's baby adoption case, right? So she asked him about what's his son name, and he said Tate. So she said she doesn't recognize it, but then she tries to spin around the story and said, oh, I heard about him in some paperwork, and she did represent for Sophia and told Sophia about where to find his adoptive parents and the address and everything. So she has all the answers prepared by Miss Melinda herself, so she stuck to that story. And Brady's asking her that, look, some things don't add up. I wanted to also verify the gender of the baby because I wasn't clear on that. So she said, as you were told, the baby's a girl, right? She also talked about how his son was trying to get in touch with adoptive parents, at least to try to meet the baby, the parents, hold the baby. And she's saying that, a lot of adoption cases are like that, where the adoptive parents do not want interaction with the biological parents because maybe he might come and change his mind and all of that, right? So she had a phone call, and apparently I believe that was Melinda on the phone, and she was already made aware that Brady is on to them, right? So she said that she had a meeting, and if there was any other questions, hopefully, if he had any, he can reach out to her. So she gave him her business card, and that was really about it, right? Melinda was the person that she was meeting up with, obviously, and she asked what happened with Brady and that she saw his car outside and she waited until he drove off. So, Patsy's basically giving her the rundown that, look, she covered all their tracks, and that, Brady was basically asking, the address of the parents. Also, that, as much as he seemed to believe what she was saying, do not look off of him, soon, right? Because he's onto them. He won't stop prodding because, for one thing, he asked about if the gender is really a girl, right? So she's saying, like, she's surprised because she thought that she covered everything, and that Brady and Tate would back off at some point. Like, come on, they do have a right to know where their child/grandchild is. Like, they do have a right? So anyways, I forgot to mention that Brady did ask Patsy for a copy of the adoption papers and said that she can't do that without checking with her client and confidentiality and all of that bull crap, right? So anyways, Melinda said that she's gonna figure it out, as she always does. Patsy also tells her thank you. She tells Patsy thank you for helping her with this. And she said, look, you saved my life at some point. I'm here to help, and I'm just sorry for what the client is going through and all of that. And she must be so overwhelmed and all that. So Melinda said, that's definitely an understatement, but I'm gonna definitely go see to the bottom of this, and hopefully this will all be resolved. And Patsy said, I wouldn't hold your breath on that, right? So she goes back to the square and she calls Sophie and said that, look, we really need to talk, right? There was a touching scene with Chad and Thomas. So they're shopping for back to school, and Thomas remembered how his mom would give him an eraser, and I can't remember clearly the phrase, but it was a great phrase that I guess is just to I guess is erase the doubts have a great year, something like that. So anyways, they just were talking about his mom, and how, she used to be good at that, giving sound advice, and how he misses her. It also talks about how he had a bad day at the pool because Rachel was there. He was trying to be comforting to Rachel and said that, look, I know your mom is going to jail and she's not going to go to jail forever, but that didn't sync well with Rachel at all, right? So, of course, Rachel became belligerent towards Thomas, and Thomas feels bad about it. And Chad explained to him that, look, she's going through a lot of very strong feelings and she doesn't know how to express them. And it's nothing personal towards you, but just know that she has a lot of good people in her life that loves her. Her dad, her grandparents, they're all looking out for her. Even all he can do is just continue to be a friend towards her, right? So they head off to go to the mini golf cart as well. So Rachel is with her grandmother Marlena. They're at the pub, and she's already feeling down about everything going on with her mom. And Tate tries to cheer her up with this s'mores milkshake, I guess a nod to her pet s'mores, right? And she was kind of not feeling it, but she then take a taste of it, said it's good and everything. So it still didn't cheer her up. So Tate said that I have a surprise plan that I'm working on, that I'm going to a surprise adventure. So she said, what kind of adventure? So she asked her grandmother if she can go along with him, if she had to finish the milkshake. And she said, no, just wash your hands. So Marlena talks to Tate and tells him how good he is, being a very good big brother towards Rachel. And he said that he loves that girl and he's just sorry that she's going through a lot. And she said she commends him for all of that because he is also going through a lot with Sophia's pregnancy and the baby giving up for adoption. And he confides to Marlena that as much as he wants to let go of the fact that the baby is good wherever she's at, he still thinks about her, misses her. He wish he could have hold her and at least look at her, see what she's like. And he's having a hard time letting go, even though he feels as if it's the right decision that he made in the long run. So she said she understands and those feelings are valid as well. And he also talks about his parent. He knows what it's like to have a parent in prison as well. And Marlene said that he should be proud of himself for how he's handling everything thus far. And yeah, that was really about it with their conversation. But I thought it was a really touching thing that he did for Rachel. Everybody and their kids, everybody's out at this mini golf course. And every time Chad and Cass seem to always meet up. It's just so coincidental, right, at this point. But it's just tiring because they always go through the same song and dance, and I'm kind of tired of it. It's either you guys are going to do something profound at the end or not. So Chad is there with Thomas. They're doing, I guess it's a back to school treat for him. Charlotte once again cannot join him because Charlotte is on a play date, and Chad is relieved because the last time she was there, she hit him in the eye, I guess, something like that. And he's kind of glad that she's not here. But I'm just saying, every time they have an outing, it's always mostly Chad and Thomas. Like, they can't afford to have Charlotte on set to what's going on with that. So anyways, Thomas goes to I guess see what Felicity and Aaron is doing. At some point, Tate and Rachel are also here, and Chad tells Rachel that, look, Thomas is already here. And Rachel says she feels bad about how she was mean to him earlier at the pool. And he explained to Thomas what's going on. And, she's saying, okay, I'm going to talk to him and tell him that I'm sorry, right? So Tate goes ahead with her, and, Chad and Kat are talking. Chad apologizes to Kat for, going off on her about her working for EJ and that she can handle herself and he has no right to tell her who to work for, right? So she understands his concerns and everything. And, he said it's more because his in-laws are coming in and he knows how they are and how they feel about Kat and him having a friendship. So she said, all he can do is just not talk about me or just don't see me for that period of time. So he said, I don't think I want to do that, right? So anyways, he brings up the thing about their kiss when, she was sick. And, he said, you keep beating me and embarrassing me. Let me embarrass you further. The kiss was actually really wasn't a dream. And she apologized. But he said, I didn't want the kiss to be happening like this. And, he ends up actually kissing her for real. And he said, I want it to be like this. So They kiss each other back, and I'm saying, finally, like you guys had us waiting for months and months with this same song and dance, longer than any other coupling you guys did on the soap opera. I was just happy to see this, honestly. um there's a point with Aaron and Tate, they're catching up about their boarding together, and Aaron is sorry about what's going on with Tate and the adoption and how he's feeling about it. And he said, look, like, I don't mean to say this, but at least you have your both of your lives are ahead of each other. Future is ahead. That's something to think about. But I can't imagine how you must feel, a parent, giving up their child, not able to see him or her. I can't relate, and all of that, right? Some point they go back to play with their siblings, and yeah, that was really about it. So Marlena runs into Brady at the square, and Brady's wondering, why she's shopping. So she said that she was shopping for Rachel. She got her these light up shoes that she needed or she was wanting, and he's happy that she did that. That will cheer her up. And he asked her how the day at the pool went. So she said it didn't really went well. She had an argument with Thomas, and she's having a hard time coming to grips with her mom going to jail. And she also bought a picture frame, right? So the picture frame was to put picture of her and Kristen there to have at her bedside. And Brady appreciates that. Brady appreciates her for stepping in and being an awesome grandmother and all of that. So she also talked about how Tate was a great big brother towards her, and how he stepped in and he brought her to surprise adventure. So he's saying, where is that adventure? So she said she does not know, but she's just glad that this will lift Rachel's spirits. And Brady and her go back to the penthouse, and at some point Marlene said that she's gonna turn in early because she's tired. Brady mentions about getting her dinner at the pub or something to warm up in the refrigerator. So she said, I lost my appetite with those frozen rodents in the freezer. And he apologizes because Rachel has those for her pet. So she understands how it is, and some point she's in the bed, she's having flashbacks of the Queen of the Night montage. I'm not really here for it, but that's what happens. So I guess we just have to suck it up and just watch, right? Yeah, that was really about it with them. So Brady's there at the penthouse alone, still thinking about the business card that the lawyer gave him. Tate comes in, and he asked Tate where's Rachel. So he said Rachel is still having a blast at the mini golf course, and that Chad is gonna drop her over. So anyways, he takes out the stuff out of the gift bag that Marlena got for Rachel, and Tate takes out the picture frame. And I don't know why this was funny to me. Tate takes out the picture frame, and he's saying, oh my gosh, this is a picture of the adopted parents and my baby. And Brady had to be the one with sense to say, Tate, this is a picture that already comes in the photo frame. This is not the picture of the adopted parents of the baby. So I don't know. Like, honestly, you could tell from the picture that this looks fake. It looks AI generated. It looks like one of them sample pictures that you will get when you buy a photo frame at one of the Chinese places or the Asian places. Them places. I don't get But anyways, that was it, guys, for today's episode. Comment below your thought on today's episode. Let me know. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys tomorrow.